see if we can add you, Ron. Okay, let's see. T-Ron. Where are you, T-Ron? Okay. Are you there? Bring on the camera. Okay.
Oh, there we are.
Oh,
Hi.
there we go. Okay, finally.
Yes.
Okay, great. So this is what I was talking about. On the other page, somehow, it's a like page, so it's a little bit more difficult to get you on there. I don't know. Sometimes it blocks different people. But you are that other as well. You also like that page. So we have some viewers out there, and let me remove this because I can't see what we're talking about. Here we go. We have some viewers out there. So everyone that doesn't know me, my name is Leonila Olivares, and I am going to interview my great friend, Ronn Hicks, who is retired wrestler for about 18 years. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And great speaker and best-selling author. And we'll let him give you a little introduction about who Ronn is. Ronn.
Hey, thank you, Loni. It is a pleasure being here. It is so exciting to actually get a chance to get caught up. It's been years since you and I have connected, but I will get back to Houston this year. That's part of my plans to get back to work with you because you're doing amazing work with the community and the kids as well. Ronn Hicks, aka Simply Bad, 18 years in the pro wrestling business. Now I have one of the largest anti-bullying outreach programs in the nation, and it's gone international. We also have a mentor program for the kids in the LISD school district, and we're also just part of the PTA, of course. And with the PTA, we have a program that we're working with students in the school, and and I'll share it with you shortly. But as a part of what's going on in my life, the kids are growing. The wife's still making me do a honey-do list, so everything's good.
Great. I'm glad to hear that someone keeps you in check, right? That
Yes.
retires work all the time. You actually have to be working. So tell us Simply Bad, how's 2018 going for you?
So far, 2018 is good. You know, we have just endured, the storms, and when I say the storms, it's a lot of it is you get caught up on the spiritual sense of not letting God lead you, and then so when you do it on the physical, that's when you get messed up. But then when you get spiritually inclined, that's when things take off for you. So things are great. We're excited about what is going to happen this year. It's going to be an amazing year. We're just looking forward to helping the kids and making it happen.
Amen. So what are some of your major plans for 2018?
Well, 2018 looks to be the year that we really, really break out. I know I've been saying it for years, but this is our breakout year. We are going to have a summer lunch program for some of the kids in Dallas. We're going to expand the anti-bullying arena. We're going to expand the mentor for the young men and young ladies from single-parent homes, and we're just going to work closely with the district to bust up that schoolhouse to prison house pipeline.
Oh, awesome. That is so great. So let me ask you this. Is it true that you and your family are doing a reality show?
We are actually working on it. Yes, we are. It's called Hanging with the Hickses, and a few years ago, some extended family members gave us this idea, and this year we're actually working on it. And YouTube it said, well, if you just put it together, put it on your YouTube channel, we have every network comes through and they look at YouTube before they actually have people audition, and I didn't know that, and so we're looking forward to. It's called Hanging with the Hickses. We're looking to have it in March, and it will have my 11-year-old son, who is, oh my gosh, he is a hoot, and my princess, who is a riot, and of course Marion, who is going to try to keep the three of us in line, which is a full-time job. We're looking
So
forward to it.
written a book because we did some events with author events here and with Texas authors here in the past. Do you have another book coming up? Are you writing?
I do. Matter of fact, we had to. The publisher had us send it back because he wanted to really update it and make it worthwhile. It's actually called my. If I Can, You Can. The 13 ways to live a successful. Let me get it right. If I Can, You Can. The 13 spiritual keys to living a successful life. And so I'm super stoked about it. There are, as you and I both know, there are a lot of challenges that we face as humans. It's not even a matter of a color thing. It's just humans. And what we often forget is we forget that we have to focus. And if you're going to make it happen, we have to play to win, and we have to win, and we have to work, and we have to grind. And as a leader, our job is never done. Because we often wear our problems on our sleeves, and so we constantly worrying about if we made the right decision for this kid, or we're helping that person. So we know now that we've got this book is going to be phenomenal, and I'll make sure that I get down there, and I want to do a book signing in Houston with you when it comes out.
You have one book so far published, correct?
Yes, ma'am, I do. My inside. There it is. Hold on, I think I got it. Yeah. Boom. Yeah. The inside is brighter than my outside. This is the first one. This is how I overcame bullying, and yes. It's a phenomenal. It's on sale on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles, and plus the website. A phenomenal book. It's an easy read. One of the things that the key is that you and I both know. Satan has control over us in the things that we fear the most. So when we pronounce that announce that we have fear, that's when he is able to take that and run with that. And then think about it, because that's what we see the most. We see most of our problems if we focus mostly on the problems. But when you focus mostly on success, then that's what you mostly have, is success.
Right. Well, you can't have fear and courage at the same time. You have to really embrace fear, because fear is always going to be there, and people are always going to have all these negative thoughts all the time, no matter what. But it's up to the person to actually weed out those thoughts and actually become aware of those thoughts, and actually see that, okay, make it as awareness. I'm having a bad thought. Let me change that. Let me transform that, because you're the only one in your mind, no matter what, and so when you start becoming aware of those thoughts, that's when you start changing. You can't change with the same mentality. So unless you start blocking or tackling, like those football players, right? You start tackling those thoughts and say, no, I don't want to do that, I want to do this. So then you're becoming aware of your way of thinking and the way of expressing yourself with other folks as well. And some people just have to stay away from all the negative people, because otherwise they will become them. And that's something that we don't want our followers to do, that to always look up for someone that's better than you, someone that knows more than you. Always find a good leader in your life and a good mentor.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Totally agree.
yeah, let me ask you this silly question. If you were president, what would you do to bring peace?
Stay off Twitter. Um, well, one of the things that um, I would do, and you and I both have said this. We have to live almost through other people's emotions. And when I say that, I'm saying that you have to. Um, how would you feel if that was you? Put shoes on the other foot. And I think that's where um, we all get carried away, is that we really don't think before we speak. And you and I both know the most powerful muscle in the body is the tongue. And you can apologize until you turn gray in the head, but you and I both know that you can't take it back. And I think that once um, we live with the fact that other people have feelings too, and it's not all about us. That's when I think that me as president, I think that's one of the things I would do, is because you can't please everybody. You and I both know that. We're both parents, so that's a it right there. You can't please everybody there. But one of the things that you got to do is you got to understand the fact that people have feelings, and whether they show them or not, they people hurt.
Yeah, and most definitely, even they might not tell you, but they'll tell other people, so and so hurt me. And so, and they won't tell you directly, or they won't say, hey, you hurt my feelings,
Yes,
that really hurt me. But again, those are situations when someone hurts your feelings or does a constructive criticism over something you've done. We'll probably get criticized over our video, just an example.
oh yeah,
You can receive it as a constructive criticism as well. But there's always something when we criticize someone else. There's always something that you're mirroring about that person. So you're criticizing or judging somebody else. You better be looking in the mirror, because you're definitely judging yourself. So there's
yes,
something about that other person that you don't like. You better look within your heart, because there's something there that you're not liking about yourself.
yes.
So it's pretty deep to go into that subject. So that's not our subject today. But let me go to your next question here. So when is your next book coming out? You said March.
Yes, ma'am.
I think
It
you
is.
right? March, about March.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so next book in March. Our other question is, right now as we speak, what are the things that you are doing for the community? Okay, right now as we speak, what are you doing to help the community, and what are you doing right now to actually take those steps or those plans that you have?
Right now we have a mentor program, and it's called Game Changers. And what Game Changers is we're changing the mindset of the kids that says, "Oh, I can't do it. I come from a single parent home. It's not for me." So in Game Changers, we take away the tools so they be successful in college, so they can be successful in school, so they can be successful in whatever they decide to do. And we're now in six schools, uh, one elementary, three middle schools, two high schools, and we're growing. Also, I'm like I said a little while ago, I'm the restorative practice coordinator for the district. And what that is I come in and I teach the kids similar to the Game Changers, but what I teach them is, I'm like, you're acting out because you're hurt. So we try to find the hurt and keep them from going to juvie, going to alternative school, going to prison. And you know how crazy I am. I love my kids about the bullying. So that program is what we're doing. Is a young lady came to me and she says, "Mr. Hicks, I want to help you grow the anti-bullying program. And I said, okay, now she's a middle schooler, sixth grade. So, that's where it happens the most in middle school. And so what we did is we created, it's called Emma's Circle. And what it is, it's where the bully and the victim, they sit down, they talk out their problems. If they don't get along, they write up an agreement, and they, if you can't get along, then just go your other ways. But this program is actually one of the catalysts for several Girl Scout troops in our area. So they're taking this program and they're putting it in the Girl Scout troops. And it's also this program, Emma Circle, is actually a finalist for the National PTA School of Excellence. So we're stoked about that.
That is so awesome. Not every school district will allow you to come in and kids. And is your organization a nonprofit organization?
Yes, ma'am, it is. And so,
okay.
so and with me working closely with the PTA, that also helps.
Wonderful. Yeah. And that's where you get the most benefit, and especially in the schools where your children are at. And we have another question for you here. How can people actually contact you on booking you for a speaking engagement, to do a book signing event, to do empowerment in a school, or to even go into another school in Texas?
You can always Simply Bad 13 on Twitter, Ronn Hicks on Facebook, StopBullyingOurPurpose.com, hashtag Simply Bad channel on YouTube. So there you can personal message me through Facebook. Stop Bullying Our Purpose. There's a page. There's a link on Facebook. There's a page on Facebook. So there are the avenues that people can reach out to me, and if you ever have any viewers that want to get in touch with me, you can always forward them my information, because you're like my sister, and so that I love you dearly, and so whatever I can do, I'm always got my hands ready to roll to Houston anytime.
Thank you. Do you mind showing us the book on the screen so people actually see the cover, and hopefully it doesn't come out any glare? Yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, great. And just repeat the title for us one more time so people can actually see it. And if they want to order it on Amazon.com, they can do that. Or if they want an autographed copy, they can actually contact you, correct?
Yes, ma'am, they can. The title of the book is My Inside is Brighter Than My Outside, How I Overcame Bullying. And if you go to StopBullyingOurPurpose.com, you can, now if the site is being revamped, so if you can't get us there, just Ronn Hicks Facebook. I'll friend you and personal message me, and we'll send you an autographed copy. I love the autographed copies because
you're giving them a personal message. I do the same. My books are also on Amazon, and you can also get them at Barnes & Nobles, but it's just not the same when you can actually write a personal message and send it out to them. It's more personal, sending it out to them from your house as well. But this video will also go on YouTube. And so most of the people, that's the reason I'm asking you to say all this out loud, is because it's not only going to stay on Facebook, it already left on Twitter, in fact. And but also will be on YouTube. So that's the reason why I was asking you to give us all the information that you had. Anything you want to tell our audience, your viewers, your followers? You are a public speaker. They can bring you into a school. They can bring you into an organization, into a chamber of commerce. You speak everywhere, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Or internationally, or?
Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, we had the 2018 SBOP tour, which is the Stop Bullying Our Purpose tour, and some of the cities that we're going to hit, well, some of the states, I should say, let's go there, will be Kentucky, Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, Florida, Virginia, of course, Arkansas, Texas, Louisiana, and at some point I will get to New York. I just don't know when, but I do know those are just some of the states that have already confirmed that I will be there, and I'm super stoked. And I mean, um, I'm actually going to be speaking this year at the PTA State Conference here in
Okay.
Dallas, and
Very
so I'm excited about that. And whatever I can do to help. I think my biggest, and Lonnie, you know this for yourself. One of the biggest things that we're thriving to do is I'm thriving to make a change around. So I have to make sure that I keep changing.
That's right.
If I change and I get better and I'm able to help someone else get better, then that means that we're doing what we're called to do. It's not. And you made a very valid point. I have two guys that I mentored that I listen to, and they're my mentors. And I've been listening to these guys for years. And the reason why I've been listening to them is because they have what I desire to have. They have successful marriages. They have raised their kids to be great. They have, and they often challenge me, to make sure that I'm at the top of my game at all times, and be the best. And so when for yourself, that's what makes you great when you're challenged. If you're staying in the same cesspool, you can't be good. But if you're being challenged to do and do great things, you're gonna make it happen, and that's what makes us great. So I wanted to say thank you so much. You don't know how awesome you are. I do follow you. I don't get a chance to reach out to you because you're just as super busy as I am, making it happen. But I'm extremely proud of you on your latest book and your latest project, and you keep making it happen. And I want to tell you something. I'm working this year to go bilingual. I'm working with a teacher here in the Louisville ISD, and he's teaching me Spanish. You know,
Wow.
and so my daughter, of course, ninth grade is already there. But by the summer, I will have the basics of Spanish down. And the reason why, and I just said it, in order for me to grow, I've got to change. And so, in order for me to be able to, because everyone doesn't speak English, and everyone doesn't speak Spanish. But if I'm able to help someone um, speak, or because I'm able to speak, that makes me more accessible. I'll never forget when we were in Cancun, and the young man came up to me and he wanted a copy of my book for his mom, and it wasn't in Spanish, but he knew English, and that inspired me to come back home to learn Spanish because hey, you have to be able to help others, and it's not about you.
That's right. Well, I can really relate to that. Two of my boys, my 13-year-old son, Jarek, he he's mastered sign language.
Oh,
Um, as it's not very common that you have someone to translate in that area. And they're still learning Spanish. And my 17-year-old son is mastering, he wants to go to the university in Tokyo.
okay.
So it's like, it doesn't matter where you live. Now with social media, with being a speaker, conference speaker all the time, you have to learn different languages. It's not about, oh, I live in the US and the only language here is Spanish. I mean, English. And that's all you need to be speaking to me in English. But with social media, it's social media, it's international. You have people from Japan, you have people from Mexico, you have people from all over the world. So it's not just, oh, I'm just going to speak one language because social media is one language. Well, actually, it's not. Social media is not one language, is several languages. But the more we can actually learn from other folks and actually communicate with other people, then that's the best way we can actually help them out as well. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? And I was listening to you, but what's amazing? Nobody ever bothers you till you're on the phone or you're conference calling or the wife has you doing a honey-do list. And so some guys was trying to sell me something, but
Okay.
I wanted to. I have to agree. There's a phenomenal speaker. His name is Eric Thomas, and if you ever get a chance to listen to any of his stuff on YouTube, make sure you do. Eric
Okay.
Thomas is phenomenal, and he said the exact same thing that you just said. I mean, the exact same thing. And the thing is how bad do you want it?
Right.
And that's what I often, that's one of the things I often.
Is he like a football coach, basketball coach?
He's a motivational speaker out of Detroit, and he was homeless, and he talked about how his girlfriend told him that he had to get a GED to go to college, and that he had to have a better life if he wanted to be with her. And so the University of Michigan State has built a college inside of a college. It's called Steve University, because he motivates people from all over the country to do that. So,
and even just to go order, say you want to travel, you have to learn the language, or at least a couple of words. I want to order this, or I want this kind of drink or something. But again, I said, I do some videos in Spanish, and a lot of folks don't like it because they say we're in the United States. Well, I'm in the United States, but the viewers and the followers, most of them are not. So a lot of people speak Spanish, and a lot of followers are from Mexico or Salvadorian or other places. So we try to do whatever our audience and our followers ask us to do. So a lot of people do ask me to do a lot of videos and interviews in Spanish, and I did one yesterday, and that's the purpose that I had it done in Spanish, because there's a lot of followers that want to know a little bit more about other people, and that's the way they can communicate with you. So this is social media. It's not just a one language. We're all different languages, and the more you learn, the better you can communicate with people. Because everybody wants to communicate, but very few want to connect, and so everyone wants to engage, but you don't make that connection. You don't try to make. So I am just so honored to have you on here, and I want to thank you and thank the viewers as well for being on here. We will be bringing a lot of interviews, not just from very well-known and best-selling authors like my friend here, Ronn.
Thank you.
But we'll bring Ronn to Houston. We have done some events. We've done some walk-in events with unbelieffree.org, and we've done several other book signing events as well. So we will bring him back to Houston and bring his books and have him, if you want his book being autographed and give it to your kids, that is a tremendous, tremendous book and a blessing to your child. And, or maybe one of your kids have someone going through bullying. Maybe, you can give that gift to that other child that is going through a tough time, because you just never know. Just remember one thing, and this message is to everyone out there. When someone hurts you deeply, just know that that person's hurt, and don't take it so personal. Know that they're hurt themselves. Someone hurt them, and they're trying to hurt you for no reason, and so they'll take it out on you. And that is very basic, very simple to remember, so that way you can forgive easily and move on. Because if you stay hurt, then anger, resentment start bottling up in your heart. And that's when you end up losing in life, and you're not moving forward and pushing forward through whatever happened in your life. So this is where unbelieffree.org comes in, not just for kids. I say this a lot, is not just for kids. This happens in marriages and families, in workplaces, everywhere you go. So the main thing you have to learn here is that whenever someone hurts you, try to sit down with that person, find out what is it that hurting them, because it has nothing to do about you. It has nothing to do about you. It's not that they're trying to hurt you or they're trying to do something bad to you. It's that where they come from and their background, it has a lot to do with why they're hurting you. So I leave you with that in mind and move forward with that. And Ronn, I thank you again so much. We hope to bring you to Houston very soon, hopefully in the summer. That way we can do another 1 mile walk with children and educate them. And ask them questions and teach them and let them know about unbelief-free bullying, anti-bullying, and help them out. And hopefully by then we'll have your next book, and TV show, reality show will be going on. And I will be praying for your children, because I don't know if they want to be on a reality show. So yeah, I don't think my children would like to be on a reality show. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, my kids are real quiet. So, yeah, they like their space. They like, you know, their own things. And I don't know if they would really like people being, they don't, in fact, they hardly like for me to take pictures. So imagine trying to have a camera following them. I don't think they'll like that. But you never know. Kids can change, and
Oh yeah.
life is certainly changing. Technology is certainly changing a lot, and I think that's the path that everybody needs to keep going into that direction. We just have to go with the flow. We have to go with the flow of change and technology, and go along with what the world and the universe is giving us. And always keep God first, no matter what we do, and make sure it comes from God and no one else, right? So, you have any words, final words, viewers?
No, you nailed it. And just when you said hurt people hurt other people, and that is so true. But always put God first. You know,
That's
always
right.
put God.
That's
And
right.
listen, you stay amazing. You know, I have your back. You know, if I can ever do anything, I'm just a phone call, a text, a Facebook instant message away. And please give my best to your kids. They have grown since the last time I've seen them. You know,
Yes.
about 4 years ago that I seen them. So everybody, yeah, it was yeah. So
What?
yeah,
Yeah.
they were thin. You know, so but they've just shot straight up. You know, and
They have. Of course, all my kids are. What can I say? That's okay.
that's
I
it.
like people. I mean, great.
There you
All
go.
right, to you viewers, thank you so much, and we look forward to any questions, any comments y'all have. And again, y'all want to bring Ronn to speak at any of your events. He's a wonderful speaker, you know, great author, great father, great husband. So please help us out and promote his book, and get his book at Amazon.com. That would be fantastic. Or reach out to him personally, and send you an autographed copy. And with lots of love and God's blessing on it. Okay, guys, so much again. Leonila Olivares here with Ronn, our special guest. Thank you so much. God bless you.
God bless you, baby.